Keep drinking if I
should have a cigar instead.
Yeah. 今日はですね、キューバであったある、スウェーデン人の話なんですけれども、彼がスウェーデン人のダニエル、彼がですね、ウガンダであった経験を皆さんにシェアしていただきます。Okay, so Daniel, so can you tell us about your story about how you about your Uganda story?
I was in Uganda. I traveled all the way from Cape Town. We went to see the chimpanzees in Queen Elizabeth National Park in Uganda, and then we went to Bwindi National Park. It's where they have the mountain gorillas.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 places they have the mountain places. Uganda, and Kenya. And so we went there and we stayed a couple nights at a nice lake, Lake Bunyoni, and we had been watching the mountain gorillas for like 7 hours, trekking into the woods. And then we were on our way back to Jinja. Jinja is the second biggest city in Uganda, I think.
Okay.
And it was 6 o'clock in the morning. We're leaving the campsite. It was pitch black, and all of a sudden there's a big massive tree across the whole road.
Okay. And how many of you are traveling in the bus?
10 people. And I think that the driver knew what was going down. He knew it was shit. This is gonna be bad. This is robbery.
Yeah.
But he still went out. He had like an axe or something in his hand, and he went out and then he started lifting the log from the road. And then all of a sudden we just hear, I don't know, 5-6 shots.
5-6 shots.
Yeah.
From the bush.
From the bush, and you can see the muzzle flash.
Yeah.
So
What's muzzle flash?
So the light that comes out from the end of the gun,
okay.
Because it lit up the whole bus.
Okay.
And you hear the shots.
It lit up the whole bus.
Because it was so dark.
Yeah, it was so dark.
Because it was dark.
It was 6 in the morning. It was too dark.
Yeah. And you can hear it, and we thought, shit, I think the driver just got shot.
Got shot, yeah.
Or killed. We didn't know.
Right.
Because we couldn't see him. Because
Right.
it was like a truck, so they had a truck compartment, and then there was they sort of built a seating area behind it. So it's more like a Scania bus or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we hear the other person sitting in the front, like it was a guy, and she's shouting, "Send some money forward." So we sent money to her. I don't know, $1,000 maybe between the 10 of us. And apparently he was at gunpoint, and he had.
The driver was at gunpoint.
He wasn't dead.
How bad was it? How bad
he had
was
a hole in his calf,
Yeah.
lower part of the leg, and he had a big, like this open wound on the shoulder, just bounced on the shoulder.
Yeah.
But we didn't know any of that, so we just collected some money and gave it to them, and he was still shouting like he wanted cameras and all that, but everything was in the locker back, so we didn't really have anything on us.
Okay.
We only had money, and we shouted like, "That's everything we have, we don't have any more money." And they were shouting in Swahili because the driver was Kenyan, so he shouted in Swahili, saying that we don't have anything more. That's it. And then all of a sudden we heard a few shots. I can't remember this clearly, but then all of a sudden I'm looking at my hand and I have a fucking bullet in my hand.
Oh my gosh.
So it was actually lodged between the fingers. I could see it both sides.
Did it penetrate?
Yeah, it was sitting. I could see it in this side and this side. So it was still in the hand. And my left hand is twitching like this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the nerve was severed.
Yeah.
Because the nerve got damaged.
Yeah, so the hand is twitching like this. And then someone is...
And what? He had indiscriminately shot at the bus?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm just shouting like, I've been shot. And a couple of times. And then I can hear that the guy in the front of the bus, she's shouting to the shooter, like, "You've shot a tourist. We need to go to the hospital."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm lying on the floor, and some of the people in the bus, my ex-girlfriend and a few others, are tying...
And where else did you get shot? Did you get shot?
Here and here.
Yeah, so what?
Can you show it?
So they're tying clothes around my arm to stop the bleeding.
So you got shot in through your arm here?
Yeah, in here, out here.
And it got bounced
and it bounced off the ribs, and the bullet was stuck in my hand.
Okay.
they're just tying things around my hand and I'm holding it up like this to stop the blood flow. There's blood fucking everywhere.
Blood everywhere.
On my clothes, on the floor, like I didn't bleed that much, but like blood is so thick, so
Okay.
it will
Oh,
get,
yeah, I'm sure.
it will get everywhere. And then
And you were sent to the hospital?
and then I just remember that the driver with a hole in his calf is still trying to drive the bus to the city just to get away from where we were, but he sort of collapses because he has a hole like this.
He got shot multiple
in
times.
his calf, and he's trying to drive with a hole in his calf. So he passes out almost.
He passed out?
Yeah, and someone is carrying him to the back of the bus while the guy is, for the first time, driving that big ass truck.
Yeah.
She can hardly do it. I mean, she doesn't know how
And
to.
she's panicking.
Yeah,
and
she's panicking. And then all of a sudden we're at the hospital, and I get a wheelchair, and they just drive me into this very worn out Ugandan hospital. And I'm lying there on a stretcher, and they're just starting to take a look at the wounds. It wasn't too bad because it wasn't bleeding that much. But
Did you have a surgery in Uganda?
no. So I was lying there for a while. They realized, okay, it's not that bad. You're not gonna bleed out. They give me what they call IV.
Yeah.
So I had like 3 bags of IV, and then they realized that they need to start cleaning the wounds. And so the driver went first. This was like 5 hours later.
Yeah.
It's not a big hospital, and they don't have that many doctors. They have like 1 proper doctor. So I can hear him scream from the other side of the hospital because, like, when you clean wounds, it's not nice. Like, if you have a bullet wound, it's gonna be so much burnt, dead tissue.
Yeah.
Oh, burn.
Yeah, because
The heat.
Oh,
of the
really?
because
bullet.
the heat of the bullet.
Oh.
So what you need to do, if you just start to stitch it up and close it, it's gonna rot it, and then you're gonna have an infection. So what you need to do is you need to get rid of all the burnt, dead tissue inside the arm. And
So you essentially have to cut out the dead tissue, or cut out the burnt
well,
tissue.
no, the best way is to actually floss it.
Okay.
Like you floss your teeth. Yeah. So I could hear him scream. I knew this is gonna be fucking terrible because I mean he's a grown-up guy. He's 40 years old and he's screaming like a child.
Yeah.
And so then they roll me into this small room in the hospital. There's blood everywhere on the floor.
Really?
They're just trying to mop it up.
Oh my gosh.
They put like a plastic bag over the stretcher, and then they say this is gonna hurt. And they give me some local anesthesia, but I mean, they give me local anesthesia here.
Just here, yeah.
And then they take a part of a band-aid, drench it in some antibacterial thing, and then just take something to pull it through my arm, and then just starts to rub. So they rub back and forth for like 2 minutes. And I mean, I couldn't feel anything here, but I could feel it all the way down to my toes.
Your nervous system,
I was just lying there, sort of clutching my arms to something, and just it's the worst pain I've ever felt.
Yeah.
And so they did it with this part and this part, and then they just wrapped it around my arms. I think we stayed maybe 10 hours at the hospital, and then we got to a hotel.
Yeah.
So one of the guys at the tour, he was a UN soldier living in
UN
Liberia.
soldier?
Yeah, UN soldier. So he called like the UN in Uganda. So we had UN soldiers posted outside our hotel.
So your traveling companion helped you out.
Yeah. Well, he was really nervous though.
Yeah.
And so we slept one night in Uganda, and then my insurance company got me an ambulance plane to Kenya the day after. They did an operation, and the first thing he said was like, "Oh, the wounds are really clean. They know how to deal with gunshot wounds in here." And then like 3 nights in
Kenya.
in Nairobi hospital, which is probably one of the best hospitals in Africa.
Okay.
And then I got a business class ticket back to Sweden.
Oh wow, all right.
And they did they took the nerve from my leg.
Which is the scar here.
Yeah. So they took the nerve from my leg and put it in my arm. So at least I can feel pain now.
Yeah.
I can feel this when
So if you're getting burned, you can feel it.
It's gonna take.
But you can't feel you can't feel me do this.
No. But if I pinch, I can.
Yeah.
And and then I were in casts for 2 weeks.
Okay.
No, it's for heat.
Yeah.
I could barely go to the bathroom.
Yeah. But now you're traveling again,
Yeah.
and that hasn't clouded any of your perceptions about traveling.
Or even decision making.
Because it's just unlucky. I mean, that could have happened in Stockholm.
Well, look, you could go outside your own house and get knocked down by a car.
Yeah, or even you could get stressed out of like traveling itself. You don't know.
I just heard a story about, so one of my mom's friend, he was in Prague and he stepped out into the street and got hit by a, what do you call it?
Tram?
A tram, yeah. And he got a serious brain injury.
There you go.
So I mean, a lot of people say, why did you go to Uganda? I mean, it's unsafe, but it's not really. It's all about
Just look.
or lack of luck.
Totally.
So I mean, could have happened here, but it's not gonna happen.
And have you had the best time of your life traveling on this trip?
But Daniel, I mean, after all the stuff, like all the tragedy, well, why would you still be traveling? I mean, do you like to still like to travel?
Yeah, because I mean, if something shitty like that will affect my whole life, that would just be stupid. Why would I limit myself to not do stuff that I want to do just because something went wrong once?
But I mean, you know what the risk of traveling,
especially now,
especially all the shit
But then
that
again,
you have to
I
went
know
through,
that
you have to go through.
It all goes down. It doesn't even have to do with me because that's all about lack of luck. And that can happen.
Right.
It can happen in Uganda. It can happen in Sweden. It can happen in Central America.
Well, where is that mentality? Where is your mentality coming from? A lot of people could actually
Yeah, I know, but a lot of my friends probably won't understand me, but shit happens, and it can happen everywhere.
And life is there to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
I mean, you said
how much fun would I have sitting at home in my flat in Sweden and not doing this, just because I'm afraid to go traveling again?
Yeah, we're here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, but are you or are you not afraid of traveling?
I'm not afraid.
You're not afraid, and why
I'm
not?
probably less afraid now because I know how it happens.
Yeah.
So like you get experience and you know like how like you probably learn.
I might limit myself to go to Somalia or Pakistan and Afghanistan and Yemen and all those bad places, but it's not gonna limit me too much.
Yeah.
Now I know. Yeah, I know that shit can go wrong, but it can go wrong.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's a good way to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. So like after all the churches, I mean, you said you still like to travel.
Yeah. I'll continue doing it for the rest of my life.
Well,
I might limit myself to certain places.
Well, let me ask you one last question then. What has traveling done to you, to your life?
Well, obviously it left some big scars, but
That's the bad side.
Yeah.
But the good side.
Yeah, you get to experience, you get to meet so many new people, and I'm sitting here having mojitos with a Japanese person. And an Irish person, so. I wouldn't do that in Sweden. That's
So what is traveling to you, like in general, like in your perspective, like what does that do to you? Like what does that do to people? You think?
I don't know. For me, it's just about meeting new people and experiencing new things.
Why does that matter to you?
Which is everything.
Yeah, which is everything. Because
why? Which is everything? Oh, why does that matter to you most? The most?
I don't know.
Meeting new people?
I just enjoy it because
we're social creatures.
Yeah.
We need to meet more people. We need to stimulate
and the
our
thing
mind.
is, I don't want to sit at home just reading in a newspaper that El Salvador is really bad. I want to go there and experience it myself. And meet other people that do.
Meet the local people, get their stories, get their experience.
Eat the local food and also talk to other travelers that experience the same things as I do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have any good answers to that.
So what's your dream now? I mean, you've traveled 67 countries so far. Are you up for traveling more?
First goal is 100, but then it's just gonna be the next goal is gonna be 150 and then 200. I don't know. We'll see. I might find a place that I like too much too.
Yeah. Home is where the heart is, and you need to find where home is.
Haven't found
and that's what traveling does. That's cool.
Thanks for sharing, man.
Well,
I really mean it. Thank you very much.